In the shadowed realms between mortal understanding and divine dominion, where the fabric of existence is tested by the wills of gods and cosmic titans, two forces stirred, one forged in mystical inevitability, the other in celestial wrath. This is the tale of the unstoppable Juggernaut and the unrelenting Destroyer. Deep beneath the ancient sands of Mesopotamia, a team of archaeologists uncovered an unmarked temple untouched by time. Carved into the stone was a cryptic prophecy in ancient tongues. When the heart of crimson flame meets the armor of the All-Father, the realms shall quake and only one shall stand. At the center of the temple lay a ruby crystal, pulsating with ethereal energy, the long-lost crimson gem of Cyttorak. The gem was not idle. It had sensed a disturbance across realms. Someone or something had challenged its supremacy. Far away in the celestial halls of Asgard, the All-Father Odin sat in deep contemplation. His vision had pierced time and space, seeing fragments of a coming catastrophe. It wasn't Ragnarok, but something more unpredictable. The Destroyer, his living suit of enchanted armor imbued with the life force of gods, had begun to stir without command. Cain Marko, the man who had once walked the earth with the unyielding power of the Juggernaut, had lost his way. For months, he had wandered aimlessly across battlefields seeking purpose. The crimson gem of Cyttorak had long been separated from him, and though he still carried remnants of that power, he felt incomplete, like a war engine without a war. But Cyttorak, the malevolent entity in the crimson cosmos, had not forgotten his avatar. Enraged by whispers that a mere suit of armor, the Destroyer, could rival his chosen Juggernaut, Cyttorak summoned Cain in a blaze of scarlet fire. "You are my wrath-made flesh." Cyttorak roared from his dimensional throne. "And yet Asgard dares forge a weapon to challenge my force. I command you, seek the Destroyer. Crush it. Prove that Juggernaut is absolute." With his body reforged, bones strengthened with pure crimson energy, and his soul bound once again to the gem, Cain Marko was reborn. He wasn't just a man with power, he was power incarnate. Every step he took now left craters. Every breath echoed with arcane heat. His armor gleamed, a deep red hue with pulsing glyphs. The Juggernaut was back, and he was on a mission. Odin, sensing the stirrings in Cyttorak's realm, grew troubled. "Cyttorak plays his games again," he muttered to Heimdall. "He seeks to pit his force against mine." Knowing the risk of a full-blown cosmic duel between avatars, Odin reluctantly made a decision. He hadn't made in centuries. He summoned the Destroyer. Unlike the Juggernaut, the Destroyer was not a man enhanced by a god. It was a god-forged shell, enchanted by Odin himself and empowered by the life force of whoever wore it. It had once faced Celestials and survived. It had nearly ended Thor, and now it would face the avatar of Cyttorak. To give the Destroyer a chance at victory, Odin did not entrust just anyone to animate it. He poured a portion of his own life force into the armor, bringing it to life with the mind of a battle-hardened god. With blazing eyes and etched runes glowing gold, the Destroyer stood in the heart of the Bifrost. "I will end the Crimson Fool," it proclaimed. Its voice like grinding storms and cracking stars. Juggernaut stormed his way through dimensions, tearing down mystic barriers and elemental wards as he made his way toward Asgard. The 9 realms shook. Storms brewed over Jotunheim. Midgard's skies turned blood red for a moment. Sorcerers from Camartage to Wakanda felt the coming clash in their bones. As he approached the Rainbow Bridge, Heimdall drew his blade to halt him, but was swept aside like a paper, dulled by Juggernaut's force. "I'm not here for you," Cain barked. "I want the tin can." At that moment, thunder cracked. The sky opened, and descending from the heavens was the Destroyer. The ground shattered beneath its arrival. Its chestplate gleamed with burning runes. Its visor glowed with the fury of a god. And in its voice was only one command: stop! But Juggernaut didn't stop. He never stops. With a grin of pure battle joy, Cain cracked his knuckles and stepped forward. "Finally," he said, "a real fight." Thor, watching from a distance, turned to Odin. "Father, is this wise?" Odin's eye narrowed. It is necessary. There can be no question who holds supremacy between the gods and the Chaos realms. If Juggernaut wins, Cyttorak gains dominance. If the Destroyer falls, Asgard's legend will falter. And if both are destroyed, Odin looked into the void. Then the realms burn. From the edges of the cosmos to the frozen peaks of Yggdrasil, weapons masters and warlords paused to sense what was coming. Across the cosmos, the name Juggernaut was whispered with awe, and the word Destroyer was spoken with dread. The battlefield was chosen. Asgard's plains stretched wide, open and unrelenting. There would be no bystanders, no interference, just two titanic forces on a path to prove one eternal truth. What happens when the unstoppable meets the unbreakable? The winds over Asgard died in reverence. A single beat passed, a heartbeat before war began. Then came the thunderclap, not from Mjolnir, but from Juggernaut's first charge. He became a crimson blur, crashing across the battlefield like a meteor set aflame by pure mystical force. Earth split behind him. Trees vaporized. The air warped. The Destroyer stood unmoving, feet dug into the ground like the roots of Yggdrasil itself. With a mechanical calm and divine calculation, it raised its palm. A beam of raw cosmic energy shot forward, exploding with blinding heat. Juggernaut ran straight into it. The blast lit the realm like a second sun. The land scorched. Mountains in the distance cracked. But when the smoke cleared, Cain Marko was still coming. Charred, smoking, enraged, but unstoppable. "Is that it?" he roared. With a thunderous slam, Juggernaut plowed into the Destroyer, shoulder first. The shockwave shattered the ground in a mile-wide radius. The Destroyer skidded back, something it hadn't done in millennia. And then it retaliated. A blinding uppercut launched Juggernaut into the sky. He vanished from view, then came down like a blazing star. The Destroyer met him mid-air with a devastating knee, cracking the earth beneath them into molten splinters. But Juggernaut's fury only grew. "I don't fall!" he screamed, grabbing the Destroyer by the head and swinging him through a mountain like a battering ram. Boulders flew, avalanches descended, and still the Destroyer rose. The two titans traded blows that echoed across realms. Juggernaut unleashed a barrage of strikes fueled by Cyttorak's chaos magic, each punch cracking reality like glass. The Destroyer countered with precision, launching energy bolts shaped by Odin's runic control, each shot targeting Juggernaut's pressure points, attempting to destabilize the enchantment that fueled him. But neither wavered. Juggernaut's helmet was dented. The Destroyer's chestplate was cracked. Fire burst from their wounds, one mystical, one divine. Yet both pressed on. And then the Destroyer unleashed its secret weapon. From within its core came the Odinflame, golden inferno that only Odin himself could bestow. It engulfed Juggernaut, burning not just his body, but reaching for his very essence, seeking to unbind him from Cyttorak. For the first time, Juggernaut staggered. Cain dropped to one knee, howling in defiance. Cyttorak's voice bellowed from the void. "You are my champion! Rise, Juggernaut!" In response, Cain exploded upward, eyes glowing crimson. He slammed both fists into the Destroyer's chest. Runes shattered. The divine flame flickered. "I'm not a man in a suit," Cain growled. "I am the Force." He lifted the Destroyer overhead and slammed it so hard into the earth that the ground caved into a fiery crater. But as he turned, the Destroyer stood up again. Its visor blazed with renewed fury. "I cannot fall," it intoned. "I am forged to end." And then came the final clash. They met once more in a charge that defied physics and myth. Time itself trembled. Juggernaut roared. The Destroyer unleashed its final blast. The collision birthed an explosion that engulfed half of Asgard. The Bifrost dimmed. Odin's throne trembled. And when the smoke cleared, only one figure remained standing. Juggernaut. His armor was cracked and smoking. Blood leaked from his lips. But he stood tall, breathing heavily. Beneath him, the Destroyer's body lay broken, still glowing, still conscious but unable to rise. Cain knelt beside it. "You fought like a god," he muttered. "But I'm more than a man. I'm inevitability." As the Destroyer dimmed, its final words echoed, "You are worthy of ruin." Cain Marko looked to the sky, defiant. "I am Juggernaut," he whispered, "and nothing stops me." The battle between the Crimson Juggernaut and the God-Forged Destroyer had ended, but the scars it left would echo through realms and legends alike. Asgard would rebuild, Cyttorak would boast, and the myth of the unstoppable force would rise eternal.